everyone. As the grants team at the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois, we are pleased to share our grant-making philosophies, 7 principles for effective grant-making that guide our review processes. The philosophies were co-created by CFNIL Staff and the Board of Trustees in 2019. They're intended to continually evolve as we learn to be better grant-makers and are reviewed annually. Up until now, the philosophies were only used by CFNIL staff, board, and volunteers, but in accordance with principle number 7, it's time to share our work with the community.
We respect applicants as the experts in their fields. At CFNIL, we consider our grantees to be our partners. The relationship between grantor and grantees is what turns community resources into community impact. As the funder, we provide resources and the grantee provides services. One cannot function without the other. We allow the grantee to address the current and future needs of the people of Northern Illinois as their expertise suggests, and hold them accountable for self-determined results. As funders, our boots aren't on the ground where the work happens, and we're not likely to understand the best approaches to addressing the issue better than the organization's staff. We respect our advisors. We consciously cultivate a robust group of volunteers with diverse backgrounds and a wide range of expertise to evaluate grant applications, and we respect their time, wisdom, and experience. It's our responsibility to steward our community's resources consistently with the community's needs. And to do this, we engage the community members in proposal evaluation and selection processes facilitated by staff that are designed to promote objectivity.
Partial funding should only be awarded with caution. Providing a grant for the full or requested share of the cost of the activity gives it the best chance of success. Partial funding can reduce program effectiveness by forcing applicants to scale back programs or spend additional time and resources to make up the deficit. Funding indirect cost is the right thing to do. Indirect costs are expenses that are necessary to the operation of an organization but can't be readily attributed to a specific program or activity. Nonprofits that build robust organizational infrastructure, which creates indirect cost, are more likely to succeed over time than those that do not. Indirect costs are real costs and should be funded just like any other component of the program. When grantors are overly prescriptive about what our funds may be used for, we force grantees to play a shell game of shifting resources. Determining which dollars will pay for what when all the funds ultimately support the same purpose is a waste of time and energy.
Competent, trained, and adequately compensated staff are essential for successful programs and healthy organizations. Staffing costs should not be considered differently than any other budget item. Nonprofits need staff to implement programming in the same way they need milk for food pantries and books for reading programs. High-quality work requires skilled professionals who should be adequately paid for their time and expertise. Nonprofits rely on grant funding for program sustainability. Plans for funding a program beyond the grant timeline should not be the ultimate deciding factor. Charitable activities rarely generate revenue themselves, so finding funding is a separate activity that involves multiple revenue streams, including applying for grants. Applicants should not be penalized for having fundraising and grant writing as part of their sustainability plans. Transparency is fundamental. The basis for trust is transparency, and trust is required for a partnership to flourish. As a community partner, CFNIL works to ensure that transparency permeates all aspects of our work, especially our grant processes. We practice transparency through our grant guidelines, making application information available year-round, and sharing feedback for unfunded proposals. We regularly seek and integrate feedback from our applicants into our program structures and try to provide clear guidance on the thought processes behind our programs, which includes these philosophies.
The grant-making philosophies are guidelines, not rules. There are always exceptions, but after 70 years of grant-making, the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois has come to believe that using these 7 principles as a framework in funding decisions can help us to be the best, most effective grant makers we can be.